This is actually a two-man job, or one-man and wife job. What I think I'll do is hold it in place like this as best I can. Maybe I'll tape it or something. Don't want to work it too much because you'll screw up what you're trying to hold. And tack it with thin CA when I see it straight. Finding some interesting oddities about this tail. No doubt it gave way just because of the impact, but you can see here under the covering, there's laser cuts in the sheeting. And here where it fractured, I'm kind of wondering about how perfect line it fractured. And again, here's a gap from laser cutting. So we're nice and straight here. So you just tack her together on the bottom. That's I can get this covering off. And I got covering coming for this thing. See? That is really kooky how they did that. There's another one. Like there is a rib there. That's just weird why you would do that. It's almost like they marked where the rib is with the laser, but they went too hard and went right through it. I don't know. Don't know what to make of that. No, it's not really good. Of course, I gotta most of, like you can see how clean this wood is. There's no glue contact there hardly at all. This little bit of wood in here is where it was really attached. So there's a lot of weakness built into this stabilizer. I just don't understand that. The laser, and I didn't see any of it on the top. I cut the sheeting out. There's no sign of it on the top at all. Weird, unless they sheeted it and then I don't know what to make of that. Once I get that in, then I'm gonna take a good chunk out of this fracture here and scarf in another piece of balsa there and fix that up. Alright, put a little brace in there just to keep this from sagging while I glue this in place. Of course I broke the damn thing in half. Let's screw it. When I fix ARFs, I don't exactly do the repair like I would if I built the thing for some reason. So that's the top sheeted in, and I know I'm going to get fussy and fudge up these joints. I just know I'm going to put filler on. But this balsa's a little harder than the stuff that they used. It's got about I think it's about a quarter of an inch. I never really. It's metric. Yeah, it'd be a quarter of an inch overlap here, and I got about a quarter of an inch lip glued on that sheeting underneath to give that something to bite onto. So we'll get this thing almost flush, and then I'm gonna chase that joint with some CA again. There, got her all sanded, nice and flush. Might be a little hump there, but you know what? I'm at the. Again, it's an ARF. So this is get the old wiggle test. That is really sturdy. Where the coupler goes into the elevator, I wicked some thin CA in there. Didn't seem to have busted loose. I'm pretty sure it did though, because of the angle. It would have hinged a bit on that. But it's good and sturdy. Ain't gonna fall off, and that CA wicking in there will take care of any thing that may have let go. Lamination on the leading edge there, just to, with a pretty decent scarf, just to beef that up. Probably doesn't really need it, but. And the same here, I went down fairly deep on the trailing edge spar a bit. Or actually just not really a spar, but trailing edge. And I laminated it back up flush, and then this goes past the fracture on both sides, so it'll beef it up pretty good. So she's pretty tough now. So I guess next I'll probably just leave that there and iron it back down, and then put my patch over it, and then bring the top piece over the top of that. Yeah, ain't perfect. I can still feel it a little bit, but I don't care. It's an ARF, and it's on the bottom. So on the other side, I'm gonna do is probably trying to see where it's busted here. It's the same spot almost. It didn't seem to break the leading and trailing edge on this side, and she's pretty stiff. I know the sheeting on the other side on the top split a bit, pretty much like this, but on the top. So what I'm going to do is cut this sheeting out here and just run some medium CA into that fracture that's going across, and I might cap it as well. So I get this nice thin white balsa here. I think it's 16th inch balsa, and just to beef it up. Chinese glue actually stuck pretty good on this side. So I don't know if we're going to be able to see this or not, but when I push on the other side, yeah, you can. I'm running my finger along the crack so you can see where that crack is in the sheeting. So I'm just going to put some medium CA. I find if I put thin, it works through the other side and you can't iron the lumps out then. The medium will wick in there, but it won't go right through and put a lump in the covering on the other side. So I'll do that, and I'll run a tab underneath this, and then I'll sand all this down flush, and then I can just resheet the whole thing, and it'll overlap here, putting the strength back in the damaged area there. I'll probably cap that crack too. Won't hurt. This Chinese balsa is just it's all metric shit, I guess. It's a wee bit thinner than the stuff I'm using. There's a few little low spots I accidentally nicked in here. With this sheet here being slightly thicker, she's going to be bang on when I'm done bringing her down to size. So I got my 80 grit, and it's chow time. So I'll trim off some of these flaps of covering and square this up a bit. And I'm going to start recovering that stab in the vertical fin. Of course, you can do the bottom first and then the top. I think I'll just cut a little square out here and put a little piece of plywood in there. This is where the tail weight that I didn't need was supposed to go, and this is where the other horn for locking the rudder was supposed to go. And of course it tore out when the rudder parted company. So that's the tail feather's done. So I'll do some covering and then tidy up the nose. And that should be it. And put the rudder back on.